you all are well. This commentary is pertaining to happy holidays, everybody. So let a few of you follow in here. I'll read you the commentary. Gotta stay festive. I love the backdrop. It's got snow falling, big windows with a view of the Empire State Building in New York City, spiral staircase. Rock. I'll share it to my community page so you can check it out for yourself. It's amazing what they can do with a little artistry and AI. Hello, dear. Thank you for joining me. I have to get that coffee in, honey. Well, did they leave me? Oh, my goodness. Honey, Queen has to get her coffee in before she can start gabbing, okay? Shut your mouth. Hope you all are well. Please be safe out there. Holiday shopping and your travels. All right, everybody, let's get down to business. Thank you for joining me. USDA allows Tennessee to exclude some sodas and sweets from SNAP. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture definition of food for purchase. In August, Governor Bill Lee announced plans to see federal waivers that exclude items listing sugar, as well as waivers that exclude beverages where carbonated water and sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or a similar caloric alternative are the first two ingredients. Oh, good grief. The waiver approved Wednesday also allows people to use the benefits to purchase prepared foods like rotisserie chicken. So you will be able to purchase hot food, I'm assuming, with your EBT card here in the state of Tennessee. America's governors are answering that call with courage and innovation, offering solutions that honor the generosity of the taxpayer while helping families live longer, healthier lives, Rollins said, per a USDA press release. With these new waivers, we are empowering states to lead, protecting our children from the dangers of highly processed foods and moving one step closer to the president's promise to make America healthy again. Well, is the president healthy? I'm just saying, because the picture I shared yesterday, he don't look that good. I'm just saying. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. joined Rollins to announce their approval. Thank you to the 18 governors who are leading the charge on SNAP reform to restore the health of Americans, especially our kids. Their courageous leadership is exactly what we need to make America healthy again, Kennedy said. We cannot continue a system that forces taxpayers to fund programs that make people sick and then pay a second time to treat the illnesses those very programs help create. The August announcement was not the first time this year the state legislature sought to prohibit Tennesseans paying with SNAP benefits from purchasing candy and soft drinks. The Tennessee Health SNAP Act passed in the House, but the bill was assigned to the subcommittee of Senate Health and Welfare in March, where it has remained since. The Trump administration's leadership to create innovative, responsible solutions that strengthen families and improve health outcomes will have a lasting impact on Tennesseans for generations to come, Lee said, per the USDA, and to our retailers and food producers for helping ensure nutritious food choices reach every community across our state. Senior Anderson, Senior Director at the Tennessee Justice Center, said affordability remains the biggest obstacle. It doesn't really address the health issue and doesn't provide more money or more incentives for eating fruits or vegetables, Anderson said. Waivers submitted by Hawaii, Missouri, North Dakota, South Carolina, and Virginia were also approved. The changes will go into effect next year, which will be 2026. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sky. So take the polls on my community page and check out my shorts pertaining to this situation. This, the director of Tennessee Justice Center, Anderson, Mr. whatever they want to do, but they feel like, well, the taxpayer is giving up the money. Taxpayers pay for a lot of things. And the one thing that people don't understand is that a lot of people who get food stamps, they work. So let me clear that up, because I'm sick of people saying people need to go get a job. They have new criterias. They've been in effect for about 20 plus years on what you have to do in order to get food stamps. You have to either work or go to school or be disabled, have some type of physical condition, mental condition or whatever, to get food stamps, whether you draw SSI or not, or Social Security or not. So stop saying people need to get jobs. There are working parents who may still get food stamps, depending on how much money they make. You have people who work, maybe part-time, they can get food stamps. Food stamps is determined pertaining to your income. So if a person has rent, electric, gas, a car note, toiletries, foods, school supplies, just common sense. And I get it, it's a choice to go out here and have a lot of children, but it is what it is. So stop saying people need to go to work as to not get food stamps. People who work get food stamps. People who are disabled adults get food stamps. Speak on what you know. If you don't know anything about the food stamp program, don't speak on it. Secondly, there are all types of food groups in the grocery store that are not good for you, such as boxed rice, macaroni. They're very high in salt, sodium, okay? Like 37, 39%, which is not good for you. So if you're going to exclude sugar products, such as cookies, candy, soda, fruit punch, what's this problem, such as high cholesterol, heart disease, high blood pressure? The sugar causes diabetes. What's the difference? You got a heart condition, you got diabetes. Both can kill you. This is bullshit. Okay, the taxpayers are giving money, but you give money for all type of things. The roads we drive on, it's not just some one little thing that taxpayers pay for, okay? Just keeping it real. I think a person needs to have a choice. Allegedly, we're living in a free country, okay? Where we have the right to live as we see fit, praise in church how we see fit or not. A lot of people live in areas where they can't afford to go get fresh vegetables, and fresh vegetables cost. Tomatoes, bananas, avocados, so on and so forth. Leafy green lettuce, they are more expensive in the grocery store, and they will be just as expensive on the side of the road if somebody was growing them and selling them out their truck, their car. That's what people don't seem to understand. Accessibility. But when you don't know what you're talking about, it's just easy to get up and judge and say, oh, well, they should buy vegetables. Do you buy vegetables at your house? How is it, because this person's getting food stamps, you as an outsider should determine what they should buy with the food stamps because it's taxpayer money. But you as a taxpayer, you're eating McDonald's and O'Charlie's and Burger Kings every day, and you're feeding your kids junk. You're feeding your kids junk food, eating out every day. You're buying Starbucks coffee every day. You feel like, what, that's your right. Okay, well, a person getting food stamps should have the same choice to buy what he or she wants to buy, okay? And everybody knows when you're diabetic, you're gonna have to have something a little bit sweet to level off your sugar, okay? Something. Not saying a whole pound cake, but you know what I'm saying. You have to eat something, level off something. So I guess they'll just be carrying around a bunch of fruit in their purse and travel bags when they go to dialysis or wherever they're going for the day. The point is, this is a free country and people should be able to choose what they want, because frankly, people buy junk food every day, whether they get assistance or not. People eat on the run all the time. Working people eat on the run all the time, and it's not healthy food. And that's just my opinion. Because my thing is, if it's going to be a taxpayer issue, well, the taxpayer said people getting food stamps shouldn't eat this, this, and this, then what's next? You're going to tell me also what we can wear, what Americans can wear, how they should dress, how they could look. I see it as it's the same. This is not Russia. I'm not in Gaza. I'm not in Russia. I'm not in Iran. Okay? And I think we already know people make the choices they want to make. Yes, we know we should eat healthier. We know we should eat more fruits and vegetables. We should drink more water. Most Americans know this. And I get it. Kids don't have a choice of what their parents buy and what their parents feed them. And that's another thing nobody's recognizing. You can't make these parents go out here and buy their children fruits and vegetables. Even with this law going into effect 2026, that is not going to make a parent go buy vegetables, salad, leafy green lettuce, spinach, because they can't buy soda pop and cookies and candy. It's still going to be a choice of what the parent wants to feed his or her kid. Who are you talking to? Right, Sky. That's true. Girl, Angela, you shut the hell up. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Who are you talking about, y'all? Girl, bye. Just because you pay taxes, you act like you're paying for everybody in America with food stamps. You pay everybody who pays taxes. A small amount comes out of your check for basic things in America. Roadways, infrastructures, schools, food stamps, medical programs. The list is abundant. This is how stupid you are, Angela. You don't know where the fuck your tax dollars are going when they are extracted from your check. There are millions of people in America that pay taxes. They pay taxes on their real estate. They pay taxes on their income. And you act like them few dollars that come out your check is paying for everybody in America drawing food stamps. Or you can't be that dumb. Maybe you are. You're one American with taxes drawn out your check. It didn't dawn on you that you want to get your money back when you decide to get sickly and get older and you have to retire and get Social Security or disability. You're going to get your money back that you put in from working. That's what determines SSI and Social Security. So what the fuck are you complaining about? You people don't even make sense, because that's what's wrong with Americans. You don't think. You're quick to judge things and you don't even know what you're talking about. Every day you work, you're putting into the system to get that money back. When you retire, when you get sick, you get disabled, you get hurt. That's how they determine how much money to give you. It's what you actually put in. So you crying about somebody getting food stamps is irrelevant. Give a fuck if they take the card and shove it up their ass. In the end, you're getting your money back. If you don't know that, then you need to go back to school. You need to go back to social studies. I'm not getting ready to sit here and cry over what somebody is doing with a food stamp card. Because in the end, you don't have control over what people buy. That's the point. The sugar, to me, is no different than salty products, potato chips. It's all the same. That's why I said on my channel, where do you draw the line? And somebody commented, oh, the line can be drawn. No, it can't be drawn, because there's a lot of things in the grocery store that has high fat, cholesterol, trans fat. If you obviously some of you don't read. You read the back of the packaging of pasta, frozen food, they have a lot of fat, trans fat. So if you're gonna say sugar, soda pop, sweets, baked goods, candy, fruit juices, you need to go on over to the frozen section and say you can't buy those box meals with the lasagna. You can't buy the burritos. You can't buy the chicken fingers. Yeah, let's go there. You can't buy the hot wings. You can't buy the White Castle burgers. You can't buy the French fries in the packaging. That's my point. There are other foods that are fatty, and they're in the frozen section. They're in the boxes. Cereal. You didn't mention the cereal. Captain Crunch, Apple Jacks. They're full of sugar. Yes, Guy. Everything has sugar and salt in it. They have to put preservatives in food, whether it's in a jar, it's in a box, it's in plastic, to preserve the food. Just like those little box meals you buy at Michelina for $1, $1.25. They may not taste salty, but there are preservatives in there with the sodium. And if you turn the box over, you'll see the percentage of sodium in the box food. It's like 35% sodium. And I eat them occasionally, and I can't taste the salt, but it's in there. That's why they have that on the back of the box to show you what's in your potato chip, your macaroni and cheese, your lunch meat. Oh, let's go there. Since it's all about people getting food stamps and the taxpayers' money. Lunch meat has high sodium, unless you're buying a certain brand of lunch meat. Oh, you didn't think about that, did you? Your sausages, your bacon, full of salt, full of fat. Hot dogs, processed. Everything in the frozen section, processed. So you telling me I can't even buy syrup? People can't buy syrup. Nobody can buy syrup. This is stupid. What about butter? No, let's keep it real. You're gonna go there, I'm gonna take you there. What about butter? Cheese, sour cream. The point is, you could change the rules a million times over about what a person can purchase with an EBT card. In the end, that is not going to change the person's eating habits and what he or she decides to buy for himself and their children if they have children. A person can buy a refrigerator full of vegetables, leafy vegetables, salad, spinach, corn on the cob, fresh vegetables from the market, if they're able to buy it with the EBT card, or however they're buying it, buy it in a can. That does not mean their children will eat it. You can't force somebody to eat something. And I get it, children usually only eat what's brought to their home. But many children have gotten certain type of foods, fresh vegetables, and they'll tell their parent, I don't like it. I don't like the spinach. I don't like the Brussels sprouts. I don't like the salad. I don't like a banana. I don't like an orange. I don't care for apples. You can't make the child eat it. What are you gonna do? Stuff it down their throat? I mean, come on, be realistic. And I'm sure many of you know what I'm saying. You have grown up in a house where your parents cooked certain things you did not like. You either ate what else they cooked or you didn't eat it all. All I'm saying is, telling a person they can't buy a soda pop, a fruit juice, a piece of candy, potato chips, whatever they're gonna cut out, to me is ridiculous, because in the end, as some of you smart asses like to say, well, go spend your money on it. Well, they probably will. So what have you changed? The food stamp is still being administered to the person. Just to show you how stupid some of you are. The food stamp money is still being allotted to the person. That's not changing. They're still getting the card. So whether they can't buy a gallon of fruit punch, it don't mean they won't find a way to get the damn fruit punch and give it to their kid or themselves. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, so you want them to fill their belly up full of steak, red meat, hamburger meat, so they can have heart disease. See, this is what happens when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The government don't know what the hell they're talking about. Eating red meat is bad for you when you eat it a lot. Fish is supposed to be good for you, but guess what? It's not good for you. You eat too much fish, seafood, you get uric acid. That causes gout. I learned that a few years ago. Didn't even know it. Everybody was on the, eat lean meat, chicken, grilled food, seafood, fish, blah, blah, blah. They didn't tell you that, you eat too much of that seafood, you can get gout. Google it. And trust me, you don't want gout. I've seen a person with gout. The guy couldn't even walk. He couldn't even put his foot to the ground because his foot was in so much pain. So you see, red meat, seafood can give you gout if you eat it in abundance. So this is what I was saying about prohibiting people of what they can buy at the store. It ain't gonna matter. Because somebody could take their EBT card and buy $200 worth of fucking hot dogs and be in the emergency room at the end of the year. So you sitting here saying, well, we're trying to prohibit having to pay out some of the medical bills for people, getting assistance if they're getting Medicaid, Medicare, whatever. Well, if you take your food stamps and buy $200 worth of hot dogs or $50 worth of hot dogs, what have you prevented? So I tell you, ain't nobody thinking. You trying to just pick a group of food and say, well, this can't be bought with the EBT card, but there are other things in the store that is just as deadly in the long run. Salt can kill you. I don't know who the fuck came up with this idea about the sugary products. How do you think people get heart disease? Have a stroke? It's from eating high, fatty, salty food. Lord have mercy. Dodo birds. My husband and one of my brothers have gout, and it's nothing to joke about. No, it's not. No, it's not. Hello, Lisa. It's very serious because I hear it is very painful to have gout. It's very painful. So basically, what the government is saying, we're going to try to keep you from getting diabetes, but in the long run, you're going to end up with heart disease. Make that make sense. You can't buy cookies. Can't buy candy. You can't buy donuts. But you can buy all that box food, rice-a-roni with all that salt in it, giving you high cholesterol and heart disease. That lasagna that's $10 a box, full of salt, hot dogs full of salt, lunch meat full of salt, bacon full of salt. Stop me. With the gout, how painful it is, you can't even let a sheet touch your feet because it hurts so bad. I've heard that. I've heard it's very painful. I've seen a young man many years ago, he had gout, and he was young. I don't even think he was 30 years old, and he had gout. And he walked with a limp. He couldn't even walk with his foot. His foot literally was elevated off the ground. And that's a kind of hard way to walk. He could not even walk. And how do you think he got it? More than likely from eating a lot of red meat, fish products, seafood products. Because I had never even heard that you could get gout from seafood. I don't know, I had stumbled across it a few years ago. And I was like, what? You can get gout from eating a lot of seafood, fish? It's like, yeah, it's high in uric acid. I had no idea. So this is why I'm saying, trying to tell a person what he or she can buy just because it's government assisted, it's wrong. To me, it's no different than if you get government assistance in housing and you're telling the person, well, we don't want you drinking alcohol. We don't want you smoking cigarettes. This is what people don't understand. People are going to do what they want to do, no matter their financial situations. They said that when the economy fell back in '08. They said the three things that people are going to buy, whether they have a job or not, meaning they will find the money elsewhere. Part-time job, a little bit of money, whatever, wherever the money sources are coming from. They're going to buy cigarettes. They're going to buy alcohol. And I believe they said food, meaning, you're going to find a way to eat. Whether your pay drops, you lost your job, you getting unemployment, you get on disability, you draw on Social Security, you'll keep the same habits if that is your choice. You see that from people on the street that are homeless. What is it that they use any type of money they get from a stranger, family, or drawing SSI, whatever? Cigarettes and liquor and drugs. I think drugs was mentioned. That's not going to change. You have people out here right now, who don't have any income, or they draw Social Security, they work part-time, they work full-time. They have not stopped drinking liquor, beer. They have not stopped smoking cigarettes. And if they have a drug problem, they haven't stopped using cocaine, meth, whatever. Because the point is, you're trying to change this. And you can't change this. You can't change a person's mindset and say, well, the government says you can't buy this with the EBT card. Or the government says in order to live here, you can't smoke a cigarette, you can't get high on drugs, you can't do this. The person gonna find a way to do it. That's my point. That's my point. You're not living in a rehab. Yeah, you got a protocol in a rehab, no alcohol, no drugs. Understandably, because you're trying to get clean. But once you come out of that rehab, you either gonna try to stay clean or you're not. It's your choice. What type of country we're about to have? You gotta stand in line every day for somebody to test your blood to see if you're geeking or not. No, we're gonna go there. Every day at 2 o'clock, every American's got to stand in line and get the blood tested. Make sure they're not using narcotics. We're going to have a government officer to come to our apartments and homes every day to make sure we don't have cookies on top of the fridge, in the cabinets. Make sure you don't have fruit punch and Coca-Cola in the refrigerator. I'm just saying. Because why should it be this group can't eat what they want because they're getting government assistance, but you can go out here and you can buy up all the cookies and Frito-Lays that you want? No, shouldn't be like that. Because we've already lived that life already. Yeah, I'm gonna take it there. Hundreds of years ago, when the African people got brought here unwillingly, and they were told how to look, how to dress, what they could eat. Very reason why Black people like chicken, because that was the cheapest meat many moons ago. And it was the only meat that African Americans could afford here in the United States. They weren't afforded the luxury to buy crab and lobster and steak. So they bought chicken. So I would tell people, do your homework before you speak on stuff you don't know what you're talking about. Now people have the luxury, they don't have to eat chicken every day. They can go to the store and buy what they want. So do you want to go back to the days of where Black folks couldn't shop and buy this and buy that at the store? You want us to start what? Going back through the kitchen doors to get into a business, to go see a play in the movies. I'm just saying how far you want to take it back. Yeah, some people might say, well, that don't have nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with it. Because now you're trying to tell people how they can live. You're going to tell me who I can vote for, who I can like, who I can date. If I can wear makeup, no makeup, color my hair. I mean, how far are we going to take it? Just saying, because that's how it starts. That's why those people in these foreign countries, they don't want to be in their country because they don't have no rights. They can't like who they want to like. They can't marry who they want to marry. They can't wear their hair the way they want. Muslim countries, they have their culture. The women can't wear their hair out. The skirts have to be down to their ankles. Arms have to be covered. So that's what I'm saying. You start one thing, next you'll be telling us how we can live in our homes. It's just like these HOAs and certain apartment complexes will say, we don't want any coverings on the windows, wild colors on the windows as far as curtains. You can't tell somebody what color curtain to hang up in their fucking house and they're paying a mortgage. They're paying rent. Oh, don't hang sheets up. Well, if they just moved in and they haven't bought curtain rods, they haven't bought panels, that's what you put up to the window until you can afford curtains. See, little by little, that is what Americans are doing. They're trying to tell you how to live. How you should look, how you should walk, how you should talk. Well, we're in a different society now. People don't have any etiquette. So, food stamp today. Tomorrow, you telling me how I can dress, how I can walk, how I can talk. That's what I see. Same thing with this Medicaid, Medicare. We'll take it there too, since they wanted to mention that in the article. We're trying to prevent the people from having to go to the doctor from diabetes, stroke. Okay, well, if you're gonna start crying about the EBT card and what you can buy, next you're gonna tell the people, we're not gonna approve that medicine. Oh, but I need it for my diabetes. Well, you shouldn't have been eating all them Hostess cakes. And that's for somebody talking about getting fat. There are a lot of people who are diabetics and they're not overweight. They just have a high metabolism. Do your homework. There are children born with diabetes. There are children born with heart disease. It's not from always because a person is overweight. You have people who are 130, 140 pounds. They have a heart problem. They are diabetic. You can't speak on everyone because everyone's situation is not the same. Because everyone's metabolism isn't the same. One person can eat a lot of food and they don't gain weight. Another person can eat, they gain weight, such as I have a thyroid disease. And for those of you who don't know much about thyroid, I'm learning myself. The thyroid controls a lot of things, such as your heart rate, metabolism. So you may put on weight easier than the next person. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's not my fault that I have a thyroid problem. This is what happens when people speak on things they don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people walk around here right now, especially women, they have a thyroid problem and they don't even know it. And it affects you, it's serious. Because you can get thyroid cancer and it affects everything, such as tingling of the face, mouth, tingling of the fingers, numbness of the fingers, toes. I always tell people, speak on what you know. And that's the one thing I have learned about Americans. They always have something nasty to say about Black people, Mexican people, other brown people, natives, Native Americans, people who draw welfare, public assistance. Half of America is on public assistance. You know why? Because they can't go out here and afford market rent. You just pray one day that you're not in that situation to where you have to go live somewhere that goes by your income. So this is why I always tell people, when you make these nasty ass comments about EBT cards and public assistance, half of America is on public assistance. Those skyboxes in New York City, they are ran by the New York Housing Authority. And those people work. They actually have jobs. But they cannot afford a $4,000 apartment, $5,000 apartment. I get so sick of people thinking they know everything about government assistance. I don't know how many times I go into articles and people are going on and on about people getting food stamps and don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. That people work and actually get food stamps. Disabled adults get food stamps. Elderly people who are retired get some form of food stamps, depending on their income. So you're gonna tell a person who actually worked and they finally get disability or Social Security that they shouldn't get a fucking food stamps, and they put their money in the same system that you're crying about. That's why I always say, speak on what you know. The money you make today as a young person, you get that back when you become ill or over the age of 62. So what the fuck are you all complaining about? The government has criteria on who can get food stamps. You don't just apply and get them. They want to know, do you go to school? Are you a veteran? Are you disabled? Are you sickly? And you have to show proof of that. And then they determine what they'll give you per the state law. I'm done with that. People are so biased here in this country. Because if it ain't that, as I said, it's always about race and this and why this and why they always got these groups. Because you ostracize people, you push them in the corner for hundreds of years, and then you want to get mad because they want something of their own. Just like this bullshit with Trump and this MLK Day and Juneteenth Day, you got to now pay to go in a national park. So you're basically saying anything pertaining to a black person, it don't count. It don't count. But yet, a lot of white people like to complain and say, oh, you always want separatism and you always want to acknowledge you being black. You damn right we want to be acknowledged. We went 100-something years, over 300 years not being acknowledged. What the fuck are you talking about? And Mr. Trump has shown black folks that ain't shit. Those are 2 federal holidays signed into a bill, but now all of a sudden he's back in office. Well, you want to go to a national park on Juneteenth and Martin Luther King Day, you gotta pay. And then you sit up here and you know, sit up on your high ass horse talking about why it's always about Black Lives Matter and Martin Luther King Day, because we ain't never had no fucking rights. And some of you are still treating black folks the same way. When you came on the damn ship, that's why. Quit trying to act like folks ain't racist and it ain't no bias. It is, still. And when you sit up here and talk about the food stamp, you're still doing the same damn thing. Because did you know there's a lot of white folks that get food stamps? All these little elderly white people walking around, living in elderly complexes, they're getting government assistance for the housing. They pay 30% of their income. And they also get a certain amount of food stamps every month. Exactly. So don't speak on shit you don't know what you're talking about. Because let me tell you something. Some of you who got a thumb up your ass, you better pray you got all your ducks in a row. You better pray you don't ever get sick. You better hope you got a nice fat savings account when you get older, or God forbid you get sick. Because you may have to one day rely on that same government you're complaining about and the pocketbook you're complaining about. You may be one of those people needing food stamps, needing to live somewhere because you can't afford market rent. And you need to live in a complex for the elderly. You can't afford to live in your nice little house anymore. When there's natural disasters, the same bullshit you crying about has to be given to people who no longer have a home. People who actually worked every day, paid a mortgage, paid rent. They're now having to get help from the government because they don't have a place. They don't have food. They don't have a house. They don't have an apartment. And I doubt they're going to sit here and say, well, I've worked most of my life and I don't want an EBT card. I don't want a bus pass. I don't want to live in an apartment that goes by your income. I'm better than that, even though I'm homeless. Exactly, Scott. Hello, Penty. You damn right. You don't know what shape you're going to end in. Let me share a story with you, and I'm going to check out of here. Many years ago, when I was younger, probably early 30s, I went in this work program, and you had to go, this is when the government started changing the criteria, to get food stamps, whatever. And I had to go in this work program, and, they teach you the basics on how to dress, how to talk, how to do resumes, things like that. Shit I already knew how to do. But anyway, it was a criteria, in order to get food stamps. So one day I went into the class and I looked across the room and I saw this beautiful white lady with dark hair sitting across the table. And I thought, what the fuck is she doing in here? She used to work at a company that I worked for when I was doing caregiving work. And she worked the office. I don't know her position, but she was the one that would set up the scheduling for the men to go sit with the clients. Are you all paying attention to what the fuck I'm saying? Love you too, Scott. This beautiful white lady, well-dressed, was once my boss at a healthcare company. And that day in that room were people going to this class in order to receive assistance, to continue getting government assistance. So you think she wanted to be in that room? Of course not. She was in there because she needed help, and she applied for assistance, and she was sent to that class like the rest of us Knoxville citizens had to attend in order to continue getting assistance. So don't ever act like your shit is too good, that you ain't gonna never get public assistance, government assistance, because you don't know where you're gonna be in life. And I have lived around all kinds of people who were once school teachers. They worked for the government, and they end up living in apartment buildings, apartment complex that go by your income. And that's what Knoxville is doing now, trying to make more apartments affordable because everybody does not have the same type of income and everybody cannot afford market rent. The average person living here, sorry, my eyes are watering. The average person here in Knoxville, Tennessee, they don't have a degree. They don't have a master's degree. They don't have a PhD. They have basic skills. Some can barely read and write. So they're not gonna go out here and get some job making $30, $40 an hour. And that's where the apartments come in based on your income. Most of it's like $33,000, $35,000 and under. You can live at the, at the apartment complex. And now they've built another one near Turkey Creek. That's a more expensive area in Farragut. I think the median income is $50,000. This is a poor region, just like everywhere else in the United States. And you cannot make somebody pay what you think they should pay for rent if they don't make that amount of money. And that's what some of you people need to understand. Just because you're doing well, it does not mean the guy down the street is doing well. He has to live within what he makes. And let me tell you, when you get older, you don't know what fucking shape you're gonna be in. And these same situations you're judging by the fucking EBT card, you may one day be getting a fucking EBT card so you can have $70 worth of groceries in your refrigerator. And so you don't starve with that little bit of money you're gonna be getting from the government on your Social Security check. Some of you people need to wake up. You really need to wake up. Knoxville is getting ready to build a very nice apartment complex near downtown Marble City. And it's going to be an upscale looking type building. And they're going to allot 15 apartments just for people who have a lower income. And they're going to be mixed in with the other residents who work and have a nicer income, which I think is nice, because that's the one thing people don't seem to understand, that you have to stop judging people by how they look and how much money they got. And everybody deserves to be treated with respect. So just because somebody lives in an urban neighborhood, they live in public housing or an apartment that goes by the income, or they're getting a voucher, they have a right to live just like you. They have a right to get food. They have a right to buy what kind of food they want. They have a right to live in a nice neighborhood. They have a right to have clothes. They have a right to send their kid to a good school. They have a right to live. And nobody has the right to tell him or her that they're not deserving of a good life, a decent place to live, food in their refrigerator, because they are poor, working poor, disabled, or elderly. You don't have that right. Not you, not the government, nobody should tell anybody they're not worth a good life, a better life. And that's basically what you're saying when you start deciding what the fuck somebody can buy with an EBT card at the grocery store, because that's not going to change their habits, because they can't buy soda and cookies and candy. Same people making these rules, they eat soda, drink soda, eat candy, donuts, high fatty foods. And we've learned that with our government officials. There ain't been a president in the White House that didn't eat a hamburger. Clinton did it, Obama did it, Trump did it, Biden did it, all the Bushes did it, Reagan did it, everybody's done it. Some of you need to check yourself. Because the one thing I've learned about people like that judge and go on and on about the taxpayer dollar, where it's going. The taxpayer dollar pays for many things here in America. I think most of you know this. You're going to be the same one needing help from the government in about 20, 30 years. You're going to be the same one that can't pay your mortgage, can't pay your rent, lose your job, get fired, wild out, and you're going to be needing food stamps, and you're going to be needing assistance, and you're going to be needing medical care, and you're going to have to be the same one going into that DHS office or going online applying for assistance, and you're going to have to eat crow because you don't ever know what situation you're going to be in. And if you don't have a lump sum of money, when you get 62 or older, you will be using that same government to get medical care. An EBT card. Checkmate. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. I have finally reached 1,000 followers on the Newsbreak app, 1,008. Thank you all for following me over there. Thank you for coming over here to YouTube. YouTube, follow me over there on the Newsbreak app. Take the polls on my community page. Check out my new shorts. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Stop judging people that you don't know anything about. Stop judging situations you don't know anything about. If you have not done your research about how our state government works as far as the food stamp program, public assistance, you should keep your mouth closed. You should keep your mouth closed. Because a lot of you give public commentary under these videos and articles and you don't even know what you're talking about. Many Americans work and they draw assistance from housing and also getting food stamps and medical care. And the one thing some of you forget is that a lot of people have children, and they have a lot of children, and they get medical care from the state and they have a damn job. Thank you for your time. You've been listening to The Vault Excel. You all have a wonderful week. Happy holidays. Talk to you guys later.